All right, this is Mike. I'm here with Liz. We'll start with the Lord's Prayer and we'll get going. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. All right, it is Amazon Q&A time. I am here with Liz. Are you there, Liz?
Hey everyone, yeah, I'm here. I'm excited to be here. Pumped from getting back from Orlando.
Yeah, we just got back, and it was really exciting. I'm here. Hopefully, you can see my screen, and I am recording. I'm in the OMG NHB team Facebook group. This is the pin post. So if you're on your iPhone or something like that, you have to click on the pin post. If you joined us in Orlando, just give me a hashtag what hashtag FTW for the win. If you were in Florida with us, just so I know who happened to be there. Probably only a handful of people here were there on the event. Liz, there was somebody who sported a Blue Devils shirt, wisely bribing you with their enthusiasm.
Yeah, that was awesome. Luke, shout out to Luke. He was there sporting the Blue Devil shirt, so he certainly got points.
Great stuff. And you know what? If I just scroll down here, we're going to get started right away. But if I just scroll down here, first of all, Cod's Assimilation's coming up Wednesday. That's going to be really exciting. And right down, I think the post below that, Liz, look at this stuff. We've got
Oh yeah, that's going to be so exciting. Actually, I used to live in Dallas for a long time, so I love Dallas.
we actually, me and Liz and Cotton picked this event out, and it's actually really got literally even more exciting. This morning, we found out that none other than the guy who I call the first one-man gang, Greg Morrison, looks like he's going to be joining us in Dallas. It's going to be at the Omni Hotel. It's going to be June 27th. So that's right around a month, just over a month away. If you already know you're going to come and join us in Dallas, give us a hashtag RSVP. Just kind of curious if anybody's already planning on joining us. Let me pull up the thread. Oh, let's see. Tyler was there. Oh, Tyler's on. Let me pull Tyler on. Tyler, do you have a? Let me know if you've got audio because I'll make you live and pull you on the webinar. Also, we
Yeah,
got
Tyler's awesome. He's really awesome. Awesome guy. Hopefully he has his mic.
yeah, and we got to pull Susan and Miguel. Give me a hashtag RSVP if you already know you're planning on being there in Dallas. I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be huge. So let's see what we've got here. So Quentin was there with us, and also Tyler. So great. Thanks so much for joining us. Let me find out if Tyler's got a mic.
Stephen Floyd will definitely be in Dallas, so that's exciting for anybody that wants. He was actually dropping lots of bombs in Orlando, so
He was. Yeah, I sent out I just heard from Tess Choi. I just met them there at the event. Uh, her husband David and her gave an earnings report. They made their first $17,000 in the last 90 days. Let me go to the question box and see. Oh no, Tyler doesn't have audio. Now we got to all chip in together and buy him a headset or something like that and send it his way. Just so you know, Tyler, you can actually call in. They have a you can switch to you can try to go to the telephone audio. You know what, Tyler? Let me do this. Let me make you a panelist, and that'll give you audio controls. And it's possible you can call on your phone. You may not be able to do it anyways, but it would be really cool. I would love for you guys to meet Tyler, and we also want to make Susan Amadell a. Did you already grab Susan? Let's see here. Oh, there she is. I'll make Suzanne McDowell a panelist because she's so often a guest for us. But yeah, it was a great event, and listen, it is going to be huge in in panelist. It's going to be huge in Dallas. It's going to be a big event. And Tyler, oh, Tyler, you actually may have a mic. You may not realize it. I just heard some feedback.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
All right, you have a mic. Tyler's got a mic.
I'm
Uh,
good. It worked.
I'll quickly introduce Tyler. Tyler joined us just recently, just a couple months back. and he actually started on Amazon about 8 months ago, a little bit before he joined us, and he's been getting a whole head of steam. And at this point, you're right around the $150,000 per month level. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Congratulations. And Tyler was telling me he came over to our event. He came over to the Assimilation Live pre-kickoff. It was really great seeing you there. And Tyler let me know that he really he's loving OMG, really enjoying it, and really looking to pay it forward and help out. So maybe Tyler, maybe you can help us answer some questions today.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. So thanks for joining us. And Jay, the details on the Dallas event are simple. You're gonna we'll be sending it out soon, but essentially it's going to be in Dallas. It's going to be at the Omni Hotel, and there's a whole bunch of OMGers coming to it. It's going to be that date that I said, the 27th. It's a Saturday, and it'll be probably starting around 7 p.m. And there'll most certainly be other OMGers hanging out and networking in the lobby before that. That's what we did at this event. But the actual official event will kick off probably around 7 p.m. and it's going to be literally very, very exciting. So great. So we're off to the races here. If you've got questions, you can start posting them either on GoToWebinar, or you can post them in the Facebook group. And start off with a round of stickers here. We can buy Liz a beer, I guess, or celebrate with Liz. Buy Liz an Angry Orchard to kind of get started, and we'll get off to the races. Actually, I got a question earlier via email. I'm pretty sure that I know the answer to this, but I'll check it with you, Liz. Somebody was asking why there aren't more MLM products selling on Amazon. I know I've seen some that are on there, but stuff like Amway and so forth. Do you have much, if any, information on that?
Yeah, I don't believe Amazon really likes MLM products that much. I would stay away from them. And if you go into something like an MLM product, even if it's allowed on there and you see them, there could be certain restrictions, or once you sort of like list, they might have like obviously like the minimum pricing rule into effect, but you really sort of want to focus on, if you're going to list other people's products, you might as well like do more like of a retail arbitrage strategy, which is something like Ty. Ty still specializes in that, and she does really well at that. And or just jump into private label, or even further than that. There's a lot of stuff that I still get that's from a third party, like I buy it at a wholesale cost and then put it on Amazon at retail cost. So there's just a lot better strategies to use than jumping into something like MLM, because a lot of people just don't trust it.
Sure. And I see the Ty's on. I didn't think about this, but Ty, I'm going to make you a panelist, and if you'd like to be involved, just chime in. And if you don't want to, you can just mute your microphone. So it's perfectly up to you. Susan Ann McDowell, are you there? By the way, just out of curiosity.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, Susan, how you doing?
Here.
Yep, that's Ty.
I am here.
Oh, and Ty's there. Hey guys, how you doing?
Just fine. Just fine.
Okay.
Beautiful weekend.
Oh, great. So Liz, what is retail arbitrage? Just so people know, because that's a term we use a lot nowadays.
It's actually like the process of going out to, it could be either garage sales or thrift shops, and or like Walmart or Target, or stores that have like sales, like grocery stores when they have sales, or you see like stores going out of business or whatever, and then going in there and scanning the barcode and then figuring out how much those products sell on Amazon. So you could, in theory, what you basically do is you go to Walmart, you find products that are like hot, and then you send them into Amazon, and Amazon sells them for you, and you turn a profit like that. So it has a lot of benefits, but it also has a lot of downfalls. Like, as Ty can tell you, a lot of times you might find a product and think you found like a real like gold mine, and then people start driving the price down pretty quickly on Amazon. So that happens often. But at the same time, you also find a lot of gems here and there where, like you seem to be one of the only people that has it, and they sell for like ridiculous amounts of money.
We were with Mandy Payne in Orlando, and she actually brought over somebody who's one of the top 10 sellers on all of Amazon, um, Justin. And this guy, what was it, like $40 million in sales last year or something crazy like that?
Yeah, right.
And so he came over to Cotton's place, and we got to talking to him for a while. And he actually has a retail arbitrage background as well. That's how he got his start, where he's buying on the retail level and then moving things over to Amazon. And at this point, he still considers himself essentially a retail arbitrager. You talked about Shopkins as a big tip. He actually just bought, like I think like millions of dollars worth of Shopkins, and he's gearing up with them. In fact, he's trying to just corner the market, I think, on Series 2. Does that sound something
Yes.
right?
Right. So I did a lot of Shopkins. I tried to, it was probably he and I that were cornering the market on Series 1 when they were ending, but now he's doing it on Series 2. I'm actually also doing some Shopkins Series 2. Obviously not at the volume that he does, but Justin is really like a true retail arbitrage person. He still will, like, when he's at Target, go look for Shopkins or something else that's hot and go and buy it. And that kind of sounds, to the rest of us, it sounds sort of funny because he made $40 million last year on Amazon, and he's still doing retail arbitrage. But I think I told the story in the last webinar where I was in Ross and I saw some Littlest Pet shop figures that I hadn't seen in a while, and I actually filled up my cart with them, and they sold for like $100 a pop, and I paid $8. So it's kind of an interesting way to do things, but certainly it still may, especially during Christmas, you can almost, and Ty can vouch for this, but during Christmas the prices don't really go down much, and you can literally spend as much money as you can and then resell that stuff on Amazon. So that's another strategy that people can use. So maybe Ty can talk a little bit about that.
Ty, do you feel like speaking out on that subject?
Yeah, I was just, it's funny you mentioned that because I was just talking to my cousin last night. I'm actually here in Chicago, and she was kind of asking me, what do I do for my business or whatever, and I was just basically
Ty, are you here in Chicago?
giving her the rundown, and then.
Ty, are you in Chicago
Hello?
Are you in Chicago right now?
Yeah, I'm in Chicago right now. I was going to reach out to you, but I saw you were in Orlando, so oh well.
How long? How long are you here? I'm back in Chicago.
Oh, I leave in the morning.
Man, there's a good chance I'll be free tonight if you want to meet up for dinner or something like that. Where are you?
I'm on the south side. Okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'll coordinate.
But
Sorry, never miss a chance to hang out with Ty. That's one of my goals. All right. Sorry, please go ahead.
So I lost my train of thought now. But yeah, like now really is a good time to get into Amazon because you can get your feet wet and get some sales going, even if you start with retail arbitrage aside from the whole private label thing. And so what I was telling her was, go out to the stores, start getting used to like seeing what's hot, seeing what's selling, figure out how to actually sell on Amazon, learning a little bit of the back end. And I told her she could call me, talk to me anytime or whatever, ask me questions, and then really once she figures out like how things go, she could really ramp up and get some cash flowing and spend all of that for Q4 or whatever, because that's where you're going to make most of your money. And even like now with summertime, a lot of the stores put things on sale, so she can go and clear out a whole rack of like toys and things like that or whatever, send them in, and for Q4 they're going to sell for like 2-3 times the price.
All right, great. So the basic idea with retail arbitrage is that you're going out to stores, or could even literally be Justin, the guy who did 40 million. He started at swap meets. I know that Liz would do the same thing. Go to whatever they're called, swap meets or flea markets or whatever, wherever you can purchase good, even garage sales, and pick out goods that can sell on eBay or Amazon, and basically list them online or even on Craigslist. I mean, wherever you're doing, you're taking something from local to online, and especially really great when we do it on Amazon. So an example might be, let's say you found, well, in the case of Shopkins, that's a very specific example. Liz, what you were doing with Series 1 of Shopkins, I'll pull up an image so people know what Shopkins look like. So if I pull up Shopkins here, then they're basically these little toys. So if we do, is it series one or season one? There's season two.
Yeah, Series 1 sells for quite a bit now because I don't have any more. So, like, the manufacturer doesn't actually have any more Shopkins Series 1.
Okay,
So now they're at Series 2.
So these are season two 6 5-packs. This is what people are talking about. So this is what, for example, you and Justin have been doing, is going to, say, Targets and stuff like that, where they have these, buying what you can, and then either holding them back, waiting for Christmas, or listing them on Amazon at a profit right now. Is that correct?
Right, yeah. I'm basically holding mine to Christmas.
Okay, great.
So it's kind of like, it could be seen as a risky move, but I can understand trends. Like, Frozen was a huge trend last year. The problem with Frozen this year is there's so much more of it. Like, there's so much Frozen, and then they've also, because there was so many counterfeiters selling Frozen stuff, they've kind of like only allowed certain people to sell Frozen, so it's sort of hard to sell. There are certain products though that, like, I just found one at the Disney store that's not, it's not a banned Frozen item, and I bought like everything that they had.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm gonna sell the crap out of it. So it's kind of like a lot learning about it. But the only way you're gonna learn is, like Ty said, is scanning.
So you took it back to your Orlando adventure. Did you buy it at the Disney store at the airport?
No, it was at the DisneyStore.com.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry. But that's funny that you can even almost do retail arbitrage online as well.
Oh,
yeah,
that's huge.
That's part. Yeah, that is huge, like Ty said. And then on top of that, you can get ebates. You can ask Ty about the ebates that you get. You get money back based off the money that you spend at those sites. So it takes a while to get it back, like maybe 3 months. But if you spend a significant amount, 3 months after November, you get a pretty big check from Mr. Ebates, or I forget the name of the other one.
Topcashback.com. Don't use Ebates. They suck. Top Cashback gives you more money.
Okay, wow. Well, see, then I just learned something new. I was using Mr. Ebates and one other one, but I'm going to actually write that one down.
Yeah, Top Cashback gives you more money.
Now,
okay, Top Cashback.
If somebody right now is watching this and saying, I want to talk about Amazon, and they're talking about shopping at stores, and I thought it was this glamorous thing where I just go on Amazon and I just shut my eyes and I pick a top 100 product. I pick a silicone baking mat, I pick a selfie stick, I go to Alibaba, I private label it, I get some friends and family to review it, and then I put up some press releases, and I'm rich. I'm on Easy Street. That's it. Why are we talking about all this, this nitty gritty retail arbitrage stuff that doesn't sound probably to some people nearly as glamorous? What would you say to that, Liz?
I would say the thing about it is, like Ty was talking earlier, it gives you experience, and you don't have to put thousands of dollars in initially. What you can do is, like, if you're not that confident about the whole process, is maybe put like a couple $100s and go out to the store and scan stuff, or go to flea markets or garage sales and scan things. And then once you see that they're selling, and then you send them in and they start selling, like, then you kind of gain some confidence. You're like, hey, wait a minute, I could actually do this. And that gives you confidence to buy more stuff. And then at a certain point, you'll sort of tap out the whole retail arbitrage thing. And it's kind of like the point where Ty's now more focusing on her private label stuff, but she's got all that experience. And at the same time, she knows that during Q4, if she ramps up and puts money into Q4, like starting right now about summertime, that she's going to make a heck of a lot of money at Q4 because pretty much everything sells.
And what's the issue overall with the idea of just picking a top 100 BSR product, and like we were saying, silicone baking mats, or can be selfie sticks or whatever, and then just going to Alibaba and private labeling it and just sticking it out there? Like, what if anything is the problem with doing that? Just using some friends and family to get some reviews, and you put up a couple of press releases, then you're rich.
I think there's a couple issues with that. Number one, it's like confidence, obviously. It's very scary to do all that. But in addition to that, when you first start out, you don't have like the experience, and there are a lot of, don't get me wrong, you hear a lot of good stories. Like I know Susan has had nothing but positive experiences with her Chinese vendors. At the same time, I know she just like was helping a friend of mine who I kind of told him step by step what to do. But a lot of people want to shortcut, like take shortcuts, and they don't like technically they won't listen to like all my advice in some instances because it can kind of be expensive because of the fact that not only are you shelling out like 3,000 for let's say product, but you should also, if you don't have a good relationship and this is your first time, you should probably get like somebody over there, like either an agent or a quality control team to look at, make sure that the quality of the product is good. And then in addition to that, once you get that stuff over to the US, you should either use yourself or a third-party service like somebody like Kevin and Jen's service to inspect it and then sticker it and send it to Amazon, because then that's sort of like another quality check to make sure that stuff got over from China in decent condition before you blindly send it directly to Amazon. And all those things sort of like add up, and a lot of first-timers will be like afraid to do all those things because of the fact that they want to cut corners in terms of costs. So when that happens and things arrive to Amazon and there's something poor that happened on either the quality control in China wasn't checked or the quality control once it gets to the US, there was no quality control check there. And then people wind up with this product and it's not what they essentially wanted, and it starts selling on Amazon, you could start immediately getting bad feedbacks, or it could wind up at Amazon broken and you have no clue that it actually did that because you decided to send it from the Chinese supplier straight to Amazon. In addition to that, you could also incur like a lot more fees because you did something improperly. It's your first time and you obviously aren't going to have all the experience that using services like that will give you.
Okay, so let's walk through this then, because we've got a lot of questions about getting started in product selection and so forth. So let's say step one, I go to Amazon, and we'll just walk through what will happen in reality. So I go to Amazon and I pick. I'm going to pick a product, and I pick, let's say, like I said, a silicone baking mat. All right. This is the reason I bring this example up, because Mandy says that she gets enough of these to cover her driveway, and so she's really getting a lot of these, and so certainly a lot. This is a specific decision that a lot of people are making for right or for wrong. So they're going to Amazon.com, and let's say, and Susan and Ty and Tyler, you guys can all chime in anytime you want on any of these things if you decide to. I've got a million windows open here. So let's say I go to Amazon, and I'm just looking for, actually, let's just say I make it simple. I say best selling products on Amazon. And I'm just looking for something that's a bestseller, and then I want to private label it. So here's the best sellers. Here's a wireless video monitoring system. Maybe I want to do that. There's some PlayStation stuff here. I'm looking for something maybe that I can private label. Maybe, why don't I do polo shirts or something like that? But anyways, whatever. So let's say I go to silicone baking mats. If I go to home and kitchen, let's say this category here for bestsellers, and I look for bestsellers in home and kitchen, then there's all kinds of products here, water filters and so forth. One of these will be one of the best sellers in here for home and kitchen is going to be silicone baking mats. So if I type in silicone baking mat, then right here is this is the Artisan silicone baking mat 2-pack right here, and I'll click in on it. And if we scroll down to the bestseller category, to the let's see here, the product description. Now I get to the product details. The screen's a little bit stopped up here. So this is the #1 in kitchen and dining for baking mats. It's not number 26 overall in kitchen and dining. So it's certainly top 100 bestseller rank, right? So check, it hits that category. It says right here, Amazon bestselling. that seller ranked number 26 in kitchen and dining. So I pick that. Then I go to Alibaba.com. I think my Firefox is getting a little screwed up here, but then I go to Alibaba. Yeah, I shouldn't use Firefox. I'll try to use Safari instead. So I go to Alibaba.com and I just type in silicone baking mat, and I just pick this company right here. Boom, here we go, ready to go. Just gonna pick these guys because that's what I was told to do. Just go to Alibaba, and I'll pick these guys. Contact the supplier, and I'm off to the races, right? So I tell them to stick my little brand on it. Let's see here. So what I'm going to do is private label it. So we're going to make Mike's Mats, right? That sounds catchy, right? The Mike's Mats brand now. I'm ready to get rich now, guys. And now I'm gonna. I have a few friends and family. I can call them up. So I get it listed on Amazon. I buy it. I get it listed on Amazon, and then I get a few friends and family to review them. Probably be a lot of work for me to get too many people, but I'll get some. So I get friends and family reviews, and then I just run press releases. I just run some press releases, and basically at that point, I'm pretty much booking my, buying a private island or something like that. I mean, I'm going to be rich, guys. Don't tell me I'm not going to be rich. I'm, a little bit facetious here. All right, so in reality, if this is my investment plan, Susan, first of all, how much is this going to cost me to buy those baking mats?
Oh, the silicone baking mats, because you're not going to be able to pay the same price that Artisan, that number one, is paying, so that they're going to charge you without shipping. If you wanted to buy 500 of them from the same company that does Artisan, I actually know this product fairly well. They're going to charge you $8 each. $8. Now remember, you saw them selling for $13.73, and then you're going to have to pay shipping. And at some point, you've also got to factor in the cost of the samples back and forth while your product is being produced, and the packaging, and the graphics.
How much is that?
So you're going to be in trouble with your private island, because as soon as you list them, even if your product was the greatest thing around, Artisan, that number one seller that's buying them probably for $1 each instead of your $8, is going to drop their price so far that they're going to undercut you, and you're going to be left with 500 silicone baking mats that you have an investment of probably about $15 each in, that you can't move.
So it really is going to ultimately cost me about $15 a piece for these silicone baking mats?
If you include shipping and everything else you've put in to get yourself off the ground for the first ones in terms of packaging and marketing, but the cost, if you get 500 of them from the same vendor that does Artisan, is going to be $8 for you. Trust me. You can go for a cheaper one, that the quality isn't as good, and get those cheaper. But if you're looking at that one that's top of the line there without doing anything, that's what it's going to cost you.
And of course,
I know that.
And
I have a quote.
And so if I go lower quality, then I'm pretty much going to get bad reviews. Like someone like Mandy's going to say,
"Yep,
rips" or something like that.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Okay, so now I'm paying $15 ultimately for something that these guys are already selling for let's see where it is.
It was 13 something, I think. It's a good, by the way, I'm not being casual with that number. A good rule of thumb is to take whatever your cost is for your product and double it, and assume that that's going to be your all-in cost.
Okay, so my all-in cost.
If you're smart, it might be cheaper, but when you're starting out, that's a good rule of thumb, and that doesn't include any built-in profit.
Okay, great. So I'm pulling.
So if you look at an $8 item, it's 15 or 16 bucks all in. Liz, is that your experience?
Yeah, I usually just double it as a rule of thumb just to make it easy.
Okay, great. So, so to make it easy, if we're looking at Artisan, who's number 23, I go in here, and the problem is, like, once I start with a $16 price, and then my competition is selling them for $14, I'm going to be in trouble. Now I can just charge more than them, but then now what? I'm starting off with zero. I've done everything. And by the way, the $15 basically is with the idea and buying them might be $8 a piece. But then once I turn them into Mike's mats and get them shipped in to into America and then over to Amazon and into FBA and all that stuff, that's where ultimately to deliver it to the customer it's going to be 15.
Actually, you're going to have some FBA fees on top of that too. That's just in terms of the shipping and you getting your product cost to Amazon. And then the other thing is there you are with a cost already that's higher than your competitors selling it. And this is just a Me Too product. What's your unique selling proposition? Why is your silicone baking mat so much better just because it says Mike's Mats on it?
Yeah, don't you get it?
That's the problem with the looking for the best 100, just slapping your name on it and thinking you can compete, because you can't compete on price because you're not buying the volume, and you can't compete on features.
My mom's going to review it though.
And that review is going to get pulled, Mike, because when you were over at her house, you accessed your Kindle account there, and Amazon is going to say, oops, those reviews are related.
But Tyler, I'm going to do press releases. What do you think about all this, Tyler? You're making some right
I'm
now.
thinking, but I know that this is what happens to people.
How many times have you seen this happen?
About half a dozen. I have a friend who did a selfie stick and asked for my help to rank it, and told him best advice is just to move on to the next product. Had a buddy who did a grill brush and tried to help him out by doing an actual natural search and finding it, and his product was on page 11, I think. And all the rest are the exact same manufacturer and selling for half the price of him. And another person was trying to do tweezers, which is completely dominated, so it gets a bit scary.
Half a dozen out of how many? Like out of 600?
Oh, I don't even, I just remember getting lost trying to find his product because there were. Oh, you're saying how many people?
Yeah. So when you say you have half a dozen friends that have run into this problem, half a dozen out of how many? I mean, is that like how many success stories have you seen?
Out of the people I know, I don't really know any other success stories, so that's the.
Basically 0 for 6.
Yeah.
And it's like really like this PAP formula. And guys, it's not that there's nothing to it. It's not that you can't sell a top 100 product. It's just that if you're going to do it this way, it's just going to be like you're just going to run like that's why. So Tyler, I'm not going to name what your actual product is, but one of your starting off point product was something that your girlfriend was selling, and it just wasn't selling that well, but she was selling it as a salesperson for another company. Is that something along the lines of correct?
Yeah, she was selling at trade shows, and I knew that with my marketing and design, I could put a better edge on it, and so that's how we got started.
And of course, you could have just found it then at a trade show, like because she could have just not been your girlfriend. You could have walked into that same trade show and walked up to her and picked it.
Yeah, I actually have a list of a couple of trade shows throughout Florida that I plan on going to this year just to get more ideas, because I wasn't quite ready to go over to China with you guys, but I mean, there's a lot of local trade shows in most cities.
So, and so that became the core, and then you have a total of, is it 5 total products? Is that correct?
4 products, 7 SKUs, so 3 of them have variations.
Okay, great. So you have 4 different products, and that altogether is adding up to $150,000 a month.
Yeah.
And so first of all, let me just find out because again, I didn't want to go off talking about Shopkins and so forth and getting folks confused if at all possible. Tell me if this is helping you kind of make sense of things. I don't know if we've got light bulb stickers here. Let me see if there's a light bulb, anything like that. Oh, here we go. Look at this. This guy's on the spot, Johnny on the spot here with his little got a little light bulb over his head. Give me a light bulb if that makes sense, and give me like 3 question marks if you have absolutely no idea what we're talking about. And it's absolutely there's no right answer with this at all. But just hop into the Facebook group and give us some feedback as to whether this makes sense or not. And we have a few questions here lined up, but I hope that this will start helping people have a decent sense for what's going on, which I think helps a lot. When we pull this up here, my computer may need to get myself a MacBook there, Liz.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. It actually just fit in my purse.
That's great. All right, so let's check. Ooh, that's a good one, John Lilly. A light bulb. Oh, Gregory Ortiz is on. Man, oh Gregory. Um, so let's see. So yeah, a few. Oh wow, you guys are creative with your light bulbs. Okay, Adrian. Adrian's not sure of what we're talking about. Adrian, can you type in a little bit about what's going on for you when you're not sure about what we're talking about? Um, a little bit about where you're getting lost, and that's really valid. I'm actually kind of hoping for some people that a little bit don't get about what we're talking about. That actually helps me. All right, so Marilyn says very helpful, but still need more of the details on the step-by-step process of doing the very first product. Um, um, so first of all, we can give you more details, and we're going to be able to. Ultimately, one of the things that you guys are seeing is that any sort of a pat process, the word I'm using is pat, like a pat formula, is going to break down. If anything was truly step by step, the one place to go for step by step instructions, I said this to you, Tyler, when you were thinking about joining OMG, and it was actually really encouraging and reassuring for you. I said, if you really want step by steps, from A to Z to make money, go to McDonald's. So they got it covered for you. And I didn't mean it to be mean,
Yeah.
but why did that appeal to you when I said that?
I mean, when I jumped into OMG, I had no background in SEO, so it was a little overwhelming for me. But I mean, I'm willing to work hard and to get my stuff going. I've been working like 16-hour days, but it was just refreshing to hear it from you and be like, look, if it were easy, everybody would do it, and there just isn't that much space. So it is tough, and sometimes you have to work harder than the next guy to make it. But then once you do, it's definitely well worth it.
And you know what, Mike? I just wanted to say something about Tyler. I think like the thing that I loved about Tyler is the fact that you could tell he was a hard worker just because of the fact that like he drove all the way down. Yeah, he drove down from Tampa, but he still made the effort to come meet us, and he also made the effort to be there like as much as he could. And then he actually found us up at Rocco's Tacos again the next day, so we hung
Yeah.
out with him a little bit more. But it was just you could tell that he was like willing to go the extra mile to just kind of be successful. He understood the fact that some of the like the networking events that we had over there in Orlando, um, even though a lot of people were having fun and drinking, there was also like a lot of people like Stephen Floyd, and I know I talked to a lot of people one-on-one about their problems. We even had John Gill show up, and a bunch of other pretty like we had the Russians showed up, and we had a lot of pretty high-level Amazon sellers that were here. We had Mandy Payne in the house, so a lot of people like really like it was like a meeting of the minds where it gave people like Tyler the ability to walk up and just ask their questions and get them answered. And now, like, I know Tyler real well because I spent that much time with him. So it's kind of like I like to think I can call Tyler a friend, and we can at some point like still bounce ideas off of each other. So I think that was the great thing about Tyler and just the assimilation event in general.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say thank you. It was definitely amazing, and it's a lot of work. I mean, I have a lot of friends who just think that they can dilly-dally with this or expect to get rich right away with a selfie stick or a silicone baking mat or something. But I've had a few other businesses before, so I know what it takes. But to me, it's fun. I mean, I have friends who are, like, oh, why don't you ever have fun? Why don't you come out? And to me, like building $1 million a year company is fun for me. So that's why I'm happy to spend the time and work and watch videos. I was actually just before this was watching Liz's videos on YouTube, so I was getting some getting those steps started while I'm listening to this. So I enjoy the work, and I think it's definitely going to pay off.
Well, and again, it's more work than watching TV and drinking beer. It really is, guys. I watched some TV and drank some beer last night, and it was easy. It was super easy, actually. It just wasn't very profitable was the only thing. Now at some point, I'm sure that Mark Cuban will step out of the screen and hand me $1 million if I drink enough Angry Orchard and watch him on TV. But it is yet to happen. So until that happens, then this is the shortcut for making money. This is a little bit to give people some more perspective. These are a few snapshots from the event. This is actually John Gill right here, listening to Gregory Ortiz soapboxing. We say networking. I think everyone understands what networking means. Soapboxing is where when somebody like here's Stephen Floyd or here's Joe Marfolio. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but here's Liz. They're speaking out and explaining something, very passionately explaining something about ranking YouTube videos or something about just a few minutes before this, I told John Gill what we were doing with what Liz had come up with increasing the price before you do your giveaways on Amazon and how exciting that was. In fact, we have an example of this. So if I go back to Amazon, if I type in stock trading, Liz, you advised Mike Swanson. Mike's strategic stock trading book was all the way down right around here, number 8 or 9 or 10 or something. And as you can see, Mike's book currently sells for $13.46. But he was going to do a giveaway. The first thing he did was increase the price to $99.99, and then he gave away a bunch of items, and he gave away 1,400 copies, in fact. And if he had given it away at $13.46, he would have booked, let's see how much in sales, 1346 times 1,400. Then that would have been, $13.46 times 1,400. Then that would have looked like $18,000 in sales to Amazon. But instead, he gave it away for $99.99 times 1,400 sales. That looked like $139,000 in sales to Amazon. And it rocketed him all the way up from maybe number 9 or number 10 up to number 3 in a really, that guy's just a really competitive category in Amazon. Liz, is that about how it works?
Yeah, that's certainly how I've been using it. Obviously, it's a little bit more advanced strategy because you do have to give away a pretty decent amount, but you don't as well. A lot of people are just afraid to do that, but it works pretty well based off of what I've seen. And like Mike's product just in general just kind of shows that, stock trading, that's pretty big niche, especially in the book market, because on the book market, do you know what is a BSR is for that book? Just out of curiosity?
That I don't.
Or even, could you check the BSR of 1 and 2? Because that would be sort of like interesting.
Yeah, let's have a look here.
Because the books, the BSRs can be a lot, I guess there's number 3528, Free Kindle Store. I'm not really familiar with Free Kindle Store, but I'd still imagine that's quite a bit because there's probably a boatload of stuff. I remember one of the whole retail
that's just so you know, guys, that's in all of Amazon. That's crazy. Like the Free Kindle Store is huge.
I would imagine there's huge, because let me tell you why. When I used to do retail arbitrage and I started with books, one of the rules of thumb was if it was under a BSR of 1 million, it was a good buy. If you could get it like for $1. So 3528 in Kindle, which I'd imagine there's probably quite a significant amount of free Kindle books. That's probably pretty good. So it's pretty darn competitive is my best guess.
Yeah, if you think about all the books in the world, to be number 3258 in all the books in the world getting given away in the Amazon free marketplace, there's that's out of millions and millions and millions of books that are out there. So it's extremely, extremely competitive. But anyways, what I was saying to hop back into the networking and soapboxing, that was the idea of what was going on at this event. It's not a training event. It's a networking and soapboxing event. So it was all like this. It was people mingling and talking and really having a great time. Barriers of belief getting broken down. And this is what it's going to be like in Dallas. And again, it's complimentary. We're not charging you anything to be in. We're not selling you some $25,000 coaching for being there. Not that we couldn't. Not that it wouldn't be worth it. But we're just not. So what you're getting is networking and soapboxing, and we're really just bringing the OMG way to your neighborhood. So that's kind of a little bit more about what's going on, with the event. And then people are sharing and exchanging ideas. It's really really quite exciting. I want to get to some of the some more of the questions here, but obviously, with the step-by-step stuff, one of the reasons why we started talking about Shopkins, by the way, it's Shopkins, is because we're like really the way that we're going to wind up learning best, folks. I know it sounds great, and people will tell you that there are step-by-step formulas for getting successful, and those people, it's not that they mean to deceive you, but it is not true. Okay, I'm sorry to break anybody's plate here, but the step-by-step formula for making money is going to McDonald's and getting a job. The problem is it doesn't pay that well, or you could say, well, I could go and become a doctor, but then that's 11 years. And there's a reason why a lot of doctors flock to OMG, because a lot of successful doctors are here because it's hard. That's hard work. Every day it's a grind, and you still, you're under the spectrum of regulation and so forth. It just makes it more difficult. So really, the process for learning, the way it really works is you start with details, and you use those details to get to a framework. Okay, this is all from your law of implication training. So you go from details to framework, and then you build back out to details. So for example, the first time a little child sees a tree, they're not like, oh, it's a tree. It's made out of bark. It has a trunk. It has roots. The roots water it. Then it has photosynthesis. They don't do that, right? Like they're a little child. They're like 2. They don't even see the tree. They have no distinction for tree. What they do is they see something like a leaf on the ground. That's a detail, right? A leaf, and even the leaf doesn't make sense that it's one coalesced thing. They might just grab something and pull it up to their nose, and I mean, who even knows how they experience it? But they see little details like a piece of bark on the ground or a branch up in the air. They just see details, and eventually they realize that all these revolve around, let's say, the trunk of the tree, right? And that trunk is like the framework, right? The kind of the core concept. But even then, once they realize there's a trunk, they're not done learning. They still have to then go back out and go, build it back out from that trunk and be like, oh, wait, there's the trunk, and the trunk is covered with bark. Okay, here's bark, and it's on the trunk. Okay, great. And then that goes down to the roots. Maybe they see a piece of the roots sticking out from the ground, and then they see a picture of what roots look like. And they're like, okay, so that's the roots, and there's the branches, and there's the leaves. And then they go to biology class and find out about photosynthesis, and that can all make sense. So it goes details to framework to details. So essentially, again, if you're with me on that, so that's going to be the way that we're going to have to teach you is we're going to do details like Shopkins, or like talking about magic and Pokemon cards, or talking about things that, what Tyler was just talking about, going to a trade show and, spotting the skin cream that helps with a certain condition and really helps people. And then he puts it on Amazon and markets it, and then it, helps people have success. So if that makes a decent amount of success to you, just give me a hashtag details. If that process makes kind of a decent amount of success to you, and we'll get to it. And wherever there are steps, we will tell you the steps, right? There really are steps to take. There's plenty of step-by-step stuff that we can do, like putting Wirecast videos up. That can be step-by-step, and we can show you that, and we want to. We're not holding something back. We're not hoarding some secret formula that we could just hand you, or we don't have easy pills that we could just hand you, easy millionaire pills, and we could hand them to you, but we're just mean. And so we're not going to until you're in the club. That's not the way it works at all. We really, really want people to have success. We love it when people have success. We relish it. We celebrate it. It's great for us. But then, we're showing you kind of the best way that we can. And again, if what I'm saying just doesn't make sense, just give me the question mark, question mark, question mark. Kevin Jin, they do provide, Kevin Jin service, they do their own quality control. So that's basically the way that works. We're going to share more with you on that when they're ready. It seems like a lot of people are understanding this. If you're not, I'm hoping actually to see a couple question marks, just maybe some people that are like, hey, but I saw a webinar and they told me it could be step by step. It's so easy. They trotted people out, and those people were like, "Man, it was easy." I don't mind seeing some question marks. There's no wrong answers. Um, now that said, all right, so Norman says, could Liz go over her product picking formula for private label products? That's something that you've actually decided to work something up and roll it out. Is that correct, Liz? Or what did you want to say about that for now?
Yeah, actually, I'm producing those videos today, so they should be ready the next few days. So I'm going to show everyone like my particular strategy and how I go about picking products, and then some of like the thought process behind it. Now, just keep in mind that a lot of it, at the end of the day, like once I have this list and I kind of like have to make a decision, a lot of it becomes like instinct just based off of my experience over which ones to pursue versus which ones not to pursue. And most of the time, other than the actual first two products, most of the time my instinct is like really spot on. But again, since everybody will be at a different learning level and sort of like not understanding kind of the things that I look at, it might take them some time to actually be successful with the strategy. So one of the things that I'm obviously going to mention in there is spots that they need to kind of consider and maybe go for the ones that are a little bit higher probability based off of like some of the numbers that I give them. But number one, first and foremost, one of the most deceptive things, like in my opinion, is a lot of people rely so heavily on merchant words, and for starters, we have no idea where that data comes. They don't tell you where the data comes. In fact, I found that it's completely inaccurate for me on almost every level. And I know that I've talked to Jack in some of his categories. He says it's extremely accurate. But for the most part, for my particular products, I found that it's completely inaccurate. However, it's really like one of the only things that we have to sort of rely on. So sometimes I can find that it's way off, meaning that it will like overestimate amount of searches that you'll actually get. But sometimes I find that like there's some products where it said, hey, you'll only get 1,000 searches, and then I find that they get an astronomical amount of searches, and it's like, what the heck is Merchant Words talking about? So my system is kind of a mix of looking at that, looking at BSR, and then just like I said, it's kind of like instinct after a certain point. So it might take people a little bit of time to get used to it, but at the end of the day, the main thing is like the most important thing is whether you decide to go out and scan stuff at Walmart or do private label, sort of like get some experience and start doing something. And going back to what you were saying, Mike, is there's also a couple people that you talked to in your China documentary that can actually help people source a product and do the quality control that are like really trustworthy and people that I actually use. So that's kind of another thing that if people still want to jump into private label, which still can be really lucrative, make sure you use services like that where it might cost you a little extra on that first run, but in the long run, you're going to have a really good quality product once it gets to Amazon, and you'll be able to sell it and not have to worry about things being broken or things just not working. I know we had that OMG guy that had like half of his electronic device didn't work. I don't know if you remember that guy, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, just make sure you don't kind of cut corners to cut your costs down because it might wind up screwing you in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's I just kind of like randomly wonder if this is going to be valuable. I want to give people an idea. Liz is talking about instinct, and it's an informed instinct, Liz. Like you said, you're basically always shopping.
Right, always shopping, always shopping.
You're always shopping on Amazon, on the Disney store. When you go out shopping, you're always doing reconnaissance. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, and that's one of the reasons why I still like that having that scanner from Retail Arbitrage on my phone is because I'll constantly be out there just scanning to get ideas. Like I might be actually shopping for myself, like might be out buying some clothes, but I might see something kind of gives me an idea, and I say, I'm just curious how much this actually sells. So
What
I'll just pull out.
scanner do you use?
It's called Profit Bandit. I'm not sure if Ty still actually uses that also, but it's a scanner that usually costs $10 a month, and you put it on your phone, and you just take a picture of the barcode, and it like scans in and it pulls out all of Amazon's pricing. At the same time, I believe if you have an iPhone, Amazon has their own app which allows you to scan without having to pay that $10 a month fee.
Yeah, if they don't want to pay, start with the Amazon seller app. But I use Profit Bandit. I love it. I was just demonstrating it last night to my little cousin.
And
So
and
yeah, I
something like
agree with that.
so valuable. Let me, I'm going to show something that I've never shown. Not because it's, because I felt like it was so valuable and I was holding it back till just the right moment. I've just never shown this. I'm going to go to eBay and show you how I made my first $1 million or so. Basically, what I would do is, hopefully, I can get to eBay. eBay shut me down. Sorry, they heard that I was going to finally spill the beans, and they shut it down. They made it so I can't do it. This is kind of weird. All right, so here we are on eBay. So I'm going to type in MTG. Let's see. I just want to try to find a set of cards. I don't know any of the current card names. I'm just going to type MTG Meriden. This is a much older set. So what I would basically do is I would go. What I was doing was I was buying these Magic cards, and I would buy them at trade shows and tournaments, and I would buy them at stores, and I would even sometimes buy them online. I would buy them. I'm actually going to change the listing view here to I'm in gallery view. I wonder if I can change it to more of a. I don't know how I can do this. Let's change the thumbnail to small, and there we go. See if this helps a little bit. Okay, so I would pull up the listings like this in Amazon, or sorry, on eBay. I was doing a lot on eBay. I wanted to know what prices, what cards you sell for on eBay, and then what I would do. I haven't done this in years and years and years, so I don't know even if you still can do it this way. But what I would do is I wouldn't want to know what the current auctions were. I would want to look at closed listings or at completed listings. Oh, here we go. Show only completed listings. Right
Still
there.
on there, yeah.
So I would search by completed listings, and I had a spreadsheet. So this is Troll Aesthetic, right? And if two of them closed, if they actually sold, and I would want to see what actually closed, what actually did sell. Again, it's been like a long time since I've done this, but so this is a complete listing. I believe that means that this one actually did sell to somebody, and did, and I'm a little bit because I don't really know how to check anymore to see if it actually did sell. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that this did sell for $2.99. Then that would be kind of a vote for that Troll Aesthetic, this particular card, Troll Aesthetic. I'll show you this card here. That this card actually did sell. This card here did sell for $1.99. And I would mark down on my spreadsheet like that's what it sold for, or that these, let's see, that the Blight Mamba did actually sell for $1.99 or whatever. And I would find out what the completed listings were for that week on each of the individual cards, or like this card, Goblin Charbelcher. So I'll pull this up here. Now, this may look a little bit weird to you. So let's say that this did sell for $11, that I would mark that on my spreadsheet. And I would just figure out what, by doing that, I would look at like all the Goblin Charbelchers and all of the Troll Aesthetics, or whatever the name of the cards were, Goblin Grenade or whatever it was. And I would know what I would constantly be aware of, and it would take me hours a week to do this. But this is what I was doing, and this is how I made my first $1 million. Really, really helped me. Like, this really, really helped. And so I would figure out what all these cards, what their general value were worth, and I knew what they were selling for. And then what I would do is I would be willing to buy them for somewhere between 10 and 25% of that price. So say that the price of Goblin Charbelcher was $10, I would be willing to buy it for anywhere from $1 to $2.50, and that's what I would buy them for. And then I would go to tournaments, and I would have a huge spreadsheet. I would know every card. There's thousands of cards in Magic, and I would have a spreadsheet, and I could look it up. They were organized by the set, and I would largely memorize it, and I would use that to buy cards, and I buy a lot. And again, this is retail arbitrage. Like I would buy it, at trade shows. I would buy it at tournaments. I'd buy it from stores. I'd post, online buy lists, for example, and people would send them in, and then they would like mail them to me, and then I would then take those and either post them on eBay or I'd post them on my website. I had SEO for my website. I would actually take them to Japan and sell them there, and then I'll come back from Japan with Pokemon and so forth. But this is what I would do to understand what the prices were and what was going on, and then I would then go and sell these cards. And now what I was doing was I was using this ultimately to acquire customers. Later on in my business, I was always trying to do something more than just sell the cards, just so you know. So it wasn't just I wanted to put them on eBay, get the money from eBay, stick it in my pocket, and move on, or sell it to a Japanese customer, stick the money in my pocket, and move on. I was always getting something more out of making a sale. So if I was selling it in Japan, the reason why was I was always using it to trade for Pokemon, and Pokemon cards were really, really hot in America at the time, and they still sell. So I'd buy something like Charizard might be a card that I would buy. This is a Charizard card right here. I might use it to be able to buy a Japanese Charizard. So I'd make a sale of a card in Japan and use it in that trade for these cards, and they were super hot, and I could come back and sell them in America. And the reason I say, you might say, well, that was 10 years ago. What does that matter to now? Liz, does this bear some resemblance to the kind of business that at least helped you get your start?
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. I used to sell the same Pokemon cards. But I think the main point is the fact that at the time it was a trend, and whether obviously it had to be licensed and things like that, but there's current trends going on, like Frozen, which was last year, and now it's Shopkins. There will always be a trend when it comes to toys or even products. And the same goes for private label. There's always going to be trends for new things that come out. Like, let's take a look at Garcinia Cambogia. If you actually had been on the cusp of that when it first came out, I mean, you made a fortune. Even if you got in sort of like the middle part of when it was like really hot, now it's obviously insanely difficult to rank Garcinia Cambogia, but there will always be trends in the marketplace, so you sort of have to keep your ear to the wall, paying close attention, because it's definitely a strategy that you can use. And obviously you can go for safer strategies, but you can have a good mix of products. So it'll be a mix of products in terms of have some that are trends or potential trends, have some that are like solid, almost like evergreen products, and then have some where you can have some retail ones or whatever. But it's kind of like almost becomes like you're investing in the stock market in a way where you have like a diverse strategy.
So basically, let's take the example of Garcinia Cambogia. So that came on whatever, Dr. Oz, and he's like, hey, this is really good for you. This is really healthy. What it was there weren't many products out there. Like if you went to Amazon and searched for that ingredient for Garcinia Cambogia, it just wasn't very competitive. So then if you went to a lab in America, let's say, and got some made up and put up, Mike's, kick butt Garcinia Cambogia, and then at that point, you really had a real opportunity to make a lot of money. Is that right?
Right. If you had been one of the first people. In fact, actually, this is one of the products that I actually initially launched without knowing what I was doing, one of the first two. And interestingly enough, one of the guys that I talked to that was actually a supplier, the suppliers themselves or the manufacturers themselves are always trying to find like the next Garcinia Cambogia. They were betting on white mulberry extract, which was what Dr. Oz released. So even suppliers are like taking a gamble on what's going to be the next hot thing. So like they had really bet big on white mulberry extract, which didn't turn out to be as popular. So it's even the same thing with like suppliers. When you start having a good relationship with your supplier, you can sort of ask them like what's hot right now or whatever, and kind of like do your own research after they tell you and kind of lean on that and maybe test them out to see how they go. But there's always something that's trending, and even manufacturers are trying to figure that out. So it's kind of goes all across the line, not just like us as like sellers, or there's also the manufacturers that are looking to see the next big thing.
So everyone is kind of pulling in the same direction is basically the thing. It's not like manufacturers are just out there producing whatever they produce randomly. They're like, I want to make notebooks. No, like they want to produce what they think is going to be hot.
Right, because that's another strategy. I mean, of course, like let's say they're a plastics company and their specialty is like silicone baking mats or whatever, some kind of plastic product. They're going to always produce things like that because that's part of their long-term strategy, but they're also going to jump on potentially like products that might involve plastic that are also trends because they see an opportunity to make a pretty great deal amount of money just really quickly. So it's the same thing with manufacturers. They're kind of using the same strategy that I kind of do, which is I sell some trends, I sell some products that I always sell, and then I can take a gamble on a couple other things that might be potential trends or things like that.
George O'Brien says, "Is this like the Beanie Babies of old?"
Exactly.
Garbage Pail. What was it? Garbage Pail Kids when we were little kids.
Yeah, Garbage Pail Kids. Then it went to Beanie Babies. There's always going to be really huge things like in the mix. Like Frozen was just out of this world. Frozen was like Pokemon level, which hasn't been around in quite a while. I don't think Shopkins will like eclipse Frozen by any means, or Pokemon, but I think that so far the whole time that like I've been around, Cabbage Patch Kids were pretty hot at one point. Pokemon, and probably Frozen. I mean, Frozen was ridiculously popular.
Yeah. So that's and we're not saying that this is the only way. Here's the whole thing is, Liz, when you look at your portfolio of earnings from let's say the last 12 months, then what you're saying is, listen, a lot of that has come from private label products that you took something that people kind of wanted and made your own spin on things. And we'll give you a very specific example here, guys. A couple examples from your training. If we go on Amazon, we met with Tim Schmidt this weekend, and we've got Elite Serum. And Elite Serum is like this, okay? So, we got the new pictures up. Dang, that looks better. Look at how much better that looks, Liz.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Oh, it looks really sweet. Oh gosh, this looks so much better. Look at this. Dang. Yeah, it used to just be a couple of, I'm really actually pretty excited about this. So Elite Serum, if you look at, let's just say skin cream, which is really, really, really broad, then, let's actually do anti-aging cream. Then what you're going to see for the most part is things that cost like 20 to 30 bucks, and they look like Oz Naturals and so forth, Oil of Olay, 15, 20 bucks, and they're all kind of, this one's $7, and they're all they look kind of the same, right? Can people see that? What we did with Elite Serum, the reason why I wanted to work with Tim on Elite Serum is it's just really different, okay? This just looks really different than those. And we're going for a much higher price point. All right, $89 is a huge amount difference. So we're going for like a premium market. This one here also has this Dr. Mark Weiss, which is really great, right? It's got that nice, the whole thing, and we'll be positioning with Tim as kind of an expert on this stuff and so forth. And so what we're doing is we're taking a market and we're kind of taking a slant on it where we're trying to go to the higher end of this market, for example, is one of the directions that we're going. Another one is Hydro-Feed for Kids, which is also in your members area, where Mike Bittler is taking something that's kind of a known product that's out there, and in this case, positioning it for kids. So, it's foot insoles, but in this case, it's foot insoles for kids, and so he's going, for a particular slant on things, and so Liz, part of your money that's coming in is from products where you've picked a product that you think is a hot category, you've niched it down a little bit, like Mike did with foot insoles for kids, or Elite Serum is like anti-aging cream for rich people, right?
Right.
And that's a part of your portfolio, a part of the amount of sales that you're going to make for 12 months. Some percentage is coming in products that you're choosing like that, and part of them are things like Frozen, where you're just betting on a big trend, selecting smart products inside of that category, buying them at retail, and then selling them at a big markup around Christmas. Is that right?
Right. So those are two major pieces, or was it three that you mentioned? It might have been three, of my entire strategy. That way, I'm kind of like diversified pretty well. And if anyone especially like the trend bet, if that doesn't work out like too well, which it's Christmas, so it probably will, I'm still building like a private label empire in the long run. But the money that I make off of other people's products gets dumped into private label stuff come the beginning of the year.
Okay, great. So, so again, like what's going on? Like that's not really a pat formula. That's something where, but yet you're just having, you're just having outrageous success compared to people who are trying to apply the pat formula, and they're constantly coming to you being like, "What are you doing? What's the secret? What's the secret?" And there are a lot of secrets involved, but they basically involve a kind of a bunch of things together. And you were even saying on a recent webinar we were doing that you make your own little mini Christmases all the time. For example, you had a big sales spike for Mother's Day.
Right. So the fact that like I've been able to capitalize on Q4 a couple times, which is basically, for the people that don't know, it's like just a quarter four for like retailers. It gives me the ability to like get heavily into seasonal stuff, so that when I'm in seasonal stuff, it's like a Christmas for that season. It's like a mini Christmas for that season. So there's so many different seasons that you can capitalize. And I'm not just talking about like Thanksgiving. I'm talking about, or like fall. I'm talking about things like Thanksgiving, Halloween, summer, back to school, Easter, Valentine's Day. There's so many different like little seasons. When it's cold in one part of the country and it's not in others, there's just so many different things that you can consider that are like seasonal and might sell only heavily like during one period of time, but then the rest of the year they might not sell too well. But if you're prepared for that heavy selling season, you can really capitalize on it. And it takes some time to actually learn that, so that's definitely not something that I recommend people to start off with, because it took me a couple seasons to actually sort of realize it, and still to this day I'm still learning about that and kind of getting a good gauge on what I can sell and what I can't. And I typically sell out because I usually under order.
All right, great. All right, so if you're, and obviously Liz is in here answering a lot of your questions specifically in the thread here, which is of course really, really terrific. And something to keep in mind is that Liz is just constantly answering questions in the Amazon Facebook group. I see it almost every single day. When there are questions that they're really often getting answered. So a great way of doing things is just to post in here, and then you'll get your questions answered. And a lot of what we're trying to do with these like live webinars, of course, we want to have a feeling of getting to know each other and getting to kind of get a sense for what's going on. And then we're also you're getting your questions answered here in the Facebook group. So we're really taking a pretty broad approach on things. George O'Brien, BSR is best seller rank. B as in boy, S as in Sam, R as in Robert, best seller rank. And you find that by looking in Amazon. We showed you, for example, well, that's on Alibaba. We showed you, for example, let me see if I can minimize here. If we went to Mike Swanson's book, for example, we search stock trading, then this book right here, Carl Roberts saying this is bestseller rank of 3258. So that's the bestseller rank. That means in the entire Kindle store, the free in Kindle store, it's the number 3,258 book in there being sold. So that's what bestseller rank stands for. We had a question on what a private review club is. Susan Ann McDowell, do you want to field that one?
Sure, I'd be happy to, Mike. We in OMG refer to a private review club as your own review club. In other words, the best way to get good reviews is by having raving fans. And building up a list of raving fans and creating your own private review club means you are not dependent on anybody else for a source of reviews, which is really important. We have a couple of tools in OMG that you can use and that we can help you build your private review club, because when you're starting out, unless you have an existing business and an existing email list, you're probably starting from nothing. So we have a special deal on the Review Sniper tool that you can use to go through the database of Amazon reviewers and invite specific top reviewers on Amazon to review your product. If you have your own Facebook page, I'm happy to talk to you about how you can leverage that to create your list. And if you don't have a list yet, you can use my list to start getting your own private review club going. After you start having sales, you'll be using the Amazon system to contact customers, and then hopefully also using product inserts, incentives on your website to build your list. You can use funnels both through Facebook or for YouTube. You can use contests. There are a whole bunch of tools you can use, but the goal is to come up with a list of raving fans that you can use to generate reviews. This is really important at a launch, but it's also important on an ongoing basis, because when you get a poor review, which can be from a competitor or it can be from a real disgruntled customer, it can stop your sales cold. So having a group of raving fans you can go to pull in some reviews quickly is a really important business strategy. And then when you're launching a second or a third product, the people that love you already are going to love your new products, and they're going to be your customers, and it's going to grow. You'll be able to partner with other people because you'll be really attractive because you'll have a list. So coming up with your own private review club is really important. There are several reasons why the public review clubs, although they call themselves private out there, are not a good idea. Number one, you may have to pay, which is a violation of Amazon terms of service. Amazon is actively working to out these groups and pull the reviews. When you use one of them, there is someone that goes in between you and your customer, so you don't know what they're telling your customer. They could say something to the customer like, "You need to give a 4 or 5 star review, or otherwise, you're not going to be part of our club anymore." Well, that's definitely against Amazon's terms of service. And if this is about your product and Amazon ever sees that email, not only could they pull the review, but you could lose your seller listing because you are doing what they call attempting to manipulate reviews, which is a really bad thing. So you really put your business at risk when you put your communications with customers in the hands of someone who isn't you. I could go on and talk about this forever, but if you want to ask questions, you can feel free to message me on Facebook. And hopefully I'll get back to you.
That's Susan Ann McDowell on Facebook, and that was one of the things when I was talking to John Gill that he was really excited by, was the idea of a private review club, and the resources that we have for getting that lined up for you. I had some questions on SEO for Amazon. A few things about that. Number one, you've got training tomorrow with Greg Morrison that's a little bit more SEO focused, and then Tuesday with Jimmy Kelly, Sue Bell, and Russell Wright, and you can really get the top level answers on SEO. We do go over. We can field some of those questions here today, but really the SEO experts at OMG are Greg Morrison, Jimmy Kelly, Russell Wright, and Sue Bell, and you can find that in your members area. Jimmy has ranked some of the craziest keywords, actual Amazon listings just directly in the Google search engines, including vitamin C serum. Obviously, one of the things that we're big advocates of is taking your video reviews and sticking them up on YouTube with Wirecast. That's going to get you instant rankings in the YouTube search engine. But that's, ultimately what you're going to want to do with that is go to your OMG training area, and in your members home, you've got just wonderful training on SEO right here, core free traffic training. And weirdly enough, if you actually just go through your 2015 over the shoulder series on how we ranked Iowa City SEO, that's 90% of what you need to rank on Amazon as well. It does it's going to get you so far towards what you need. It might even get you 100% of the way, depending on what your needs are. So that's a great place to go. And of course, your blueprint as well. If you don't have your blueprint yet, you can email me at omg@omgmachines.com. So what I'll do is I'll pull this up. You email me at omg@omgmachines.com. Down here, omg@omgmachines.com is where to email me to get your blueprint. All right, let me take a scan of the question box here.
One of the things that I did want to answer, Mike, is one from Alice, which is talking about a supplier who's authorized to sell minions in China. Can she buy from them and sell on Amazon? They're not authorized to sell in the States, but they have U.S. customers who bought from them wholesaling. So the problem with that is, and I know Mike can remember another incident regarding this, but that's probably not a good idea, Alice, because you're asking to get your account banned. Because let me sort of tell you why. A lot of times these Chinese suppliers will say that they're authorized to sell them, but they're really not. So you never really know when to believe them. But typically, and this is a guy that we will be featuring in the Chinese sourcing thing that Mike put together. If you remember Ravine, Mike, obviously you do. Ravine's a really cool guy.
Absolutely.
Has a sourcing company, but he's also a shoe manufacturer. And one of the things that I learned from him is that he will not manufacture shoes for anything, like let's say it's Disney or anything like that that needs manufacturing, a big company, unless the person who's going to make those shoes sends him proof of licensing and things like that. So what that basically tells me is that any Chinese company that tells you, oh, we're licensed to do this, we're licensed to do that, really is not telling the truth, because Disney and people like that give out license individually to companies, and then you get them produced in China. So Disney does not have any one particular manufacturer that manufactures all their licensees products, if that makes any sense. Can you kind of continue with that, Mike, or can you add anything to that?
Well, yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Can I add something to that, Liz?
Sure, go ahead, Ty.
Yep.
Okay, so when I was in China, I was in the markets and I was looking at these backpacks. They were these really nicely made Barbie backpacks, and the lady said, "Oh, we're the manufacturer for Barbie." And so, just out of curiosity, I knew I couldn't sell them, but I just said, "Oh, can I sell them on? I have a U.S. market and things like that." So she called the guy in the factory, and he was asking me all these questions. Well, we require a license. He went through the whole rundown of everything that they required before they would even sell the backpacks to me, because they knew I was in the U.S. So bottom line is, no, if you don't have the license from the company to sell it in the U.S., no, you can't sell it.
Right. So that's exactly what I was saying. Like Ravine said that he has to have the license, but a lot of Chinese companies just want to make a sale, and they're kind of like scamming you, making you think, hey, we're licensed or whatever. They just want to buy it, because after that they're kind of like totally out of the equation, and you just basically got scammed, because now you're sending in counterfeit products to Amazon. So the best bet, Alice, would be to stay away from that stuff altogether.
Yeah, and it really goes a whole level deeper with this. There's also patents as well. You really, and we're not saying this stuff to scare you. There's nothing scary about this. In fact, it's great news. All of these barrier to entry things are really great news for OMGers. For example, SEO is, like I said, it's pretty easy. If you follow what Greg is teaching, then you're generally going to rank. But other people don't have that, like SEO rankings GPS. So the fact that Google has all of these barriers to entry that they're sticking, for example, the way it used to be in SEO, and again, I'm essentially answering your question about buying products as well at the same time. But the way it used to work is you'd have a website. This is, let's say this is your site, and you could just send in backlinks from everywhere in the world. Okay, you could send in literally thousands, or even tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, or even millions of backlinks. Let's say you're trying to rank. The old site of mine was kidneydiet.net. Okay, the site that me and a partner ranked back in the day. You remember this one, Liz?
Let me take a look. Yes.
Okay, so Liz, what did all of the anchor text say back in the day for kidneydiet.net? Like 100% anchor text said what?
Well, if it was like way back in the day, it could have just said kidney diet.
Exactly. So what we had was like thousands and thousands of thousands of backlinks coming in from all kinds of websites that had nothing to do with kidney diet. mp3.com, profile links, blog comments, just millions of links. I don't know if it was millions, but it was a lot of links. And every single one of them had the anchor text, kidney diet. So they would have like some sort of a pretty low quality article. They would be like, hey, I was looking for information on kidney diet. and then that would be a backlink to kidneydiet.net. And we were ranked #1 for kidney diet for years. I mean, we just sat there. And then what happened was the Penguin update came along, and they made it so if you had, let's say the first Penguin 1.0 update said that if you had 100% anchor text, we're going to drop you out, but you could still have like 80% anchor text and be fine. So like 80% of your anchor text could say kidney diet and you're still fine. Then it dropped down to 50%. Then it dropped down to 20%. And the funny thing about this was this got rid of about 80 to 90% of the people doing SEO. They just quit because they're like, oh, it's too hard. Now, in your 2015 Over the Shoulder series, Greg explains exactly the formula that he used, every link, every keystroke to ranking iowacityseo.net #1 through #5. And by the way, it's kind of funny, but to jump over to our OMG Way Facebook group, there was a post in there from Patrick. Patrick flew all the way from Orlando to, let's see if I can find this post. He flew all the way from Sweden to Orlando to join in our event, it was great to see him there. And let me see, and it's obviously a very active group here. So this is Patrick, and Patrick flew in all the way from Sweden to Orlando to join in our inaugural event. And he right now ranks #2 for Stockholm SEO, Stockholm, Sweden. Stockholm SEO, he's #2 for Stockholm SEO, just signed his first client with that site. Now, I asked him, how did you do it? Does anybody know how he did it? Let's get guesses in the Facebook group. How did Patrick rank? See who gets the answer first. I typed this in the Facebook group. So how did Patrick rank #2 for Stockholm SEO? It was his first time doing SEO ever. His first site out of the box. He had no idea, couldn't spell SEO to begin with. So how was he ultimately able to do it? Let's see who gets the answer. Scroll down here. OMG style, follow Greg, follow the system. Yes, but what system? What training did he use, guys? Not hard, not hard. Let's figure it out. I wish I could be reading along all these comments. By the way, I'm a little jealous. Tyler's putting in comments. So what specific training did he follow? Yes, he did. Yeah. There we go. George O'Brien got it. OTS, the Over the Shoulder series. So what he did was he followed exactly. Now everyone's getting it. He did the exact steps in fact, he's not even done with it yet, by the way. He's got, I think, like 3 listings on page 1. So he followed the 2015 Over the Shoulder series. So my point in saying this is that, yes, it's quote unquote harder to do SEO, but that actually makes it easier for us. And I really want to know, I know that sounds counterintuitive, but the point is 9 out of 10 people who used to do SEO are not doing it anymore because it's quote unquote hard. Okay, that's making it easier for us. So, if you can't sell certain products on Amazon because you don't have the license and you can't sell other products on Amazon because you don't have the patent, then what's happening is that's other sellers that you're not competing with. I mean, it is really, really unfortunate to see someone go out there and try this kind of pat formula where they just pick a top 100 product, private label it, try to get friends and family to review it, do press releases, and nothing more. I'm sad for that person, but at least that person's not your competition. That's one, silver lining to things is that, that 6 out of 6 people who Tyler knows who tried that method and it didn't work, then those people are not creating competition for you. So the silver lining is that having things be a little bit more challenging, a little bit more difficult, makes it much easier for you. I mean, Liz, how many products straight have you listed that have been, basic home runs for you?
Well, I guess it depends on what people consider a home run. I guess it depends really on what their expectations for a home run is. Like in my eyes, anything that sells over 10 plus a day is kind of like a home run for me because it adds up over time. So I have like a collection of a lot of products. So a lot of people have like these expectations. Now every once in a while you get like an outlier, which is like 100 units a day, or in some cases I've even had some at some points that are like 800 units a day.
Oh my God.
But those are really like outliers that happen here and there. But it kind of really is all dependent upon your expectations. And yeah, Danny probably said it best there. Home run is a positive ROI. So if I'm selling 10 a day, I'm like super stoked. I'm like, this is like awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really depends on your expectations. When, I learned this a long time ago in poker. Sometimes when you set really high expectations, they sort of like almost cause you to fail really greatly or really hard because your expectations are so high and everything's like built up like, oh, you're going to be like we talked about Mike's mats, you're going to be super rich by selling this mat. And then when you sell 10 a day and you're making like $8 profit, you're super disappointed. You're like, this just sucks because I'm making $80 a day and I was promised to make $8,000 or $800 a day.
Yeah.
So I kind of like to consider anything over 10 units like is a pretty big home run for me, and anything over obviously 50 plus units is like more or less like an outlier.
Great. Yeah, expectations really are a killer when it comes to business online as a whole. It's one of the things that really makes OMG extraordinary is that you get to see the process of having success. We can relate this back to Cotton. Cotton's first 90 days inside of OMG, he made 0, and it was disappointing. It was frustrating. His dad was like, almost trying to push him or trying to like pressure him into just quitting OMG and to go and get a job. Cotton just posted, by the way. So I saw Cotton just posted the RSVP.
And one thing, Mike, one more quick thing. Well, since we've been in here, there's been like two really awesome tips. Actually, I've heard 3 today for people that say like, oh, I don't know where to source or whatever. I don't know what to get. Tyler mentioned earlier the trade show. I know Ty is like the trade show queen. At one point, Ty would go like to every possible trade show. I think she might have been to almost hit every state at a trade show. But both Tyler and Ty use that strategy. Ty also posted that QVC, they always have brand new things that are probably pretty hot. And then Tyler also posted the fact that he likes to look at deal sites. So 3 really, and there's Ty. I know she's like I said, the trade show queen. So a lot of times going to trade shows isn't about, hey, I'm going to sell these people's things on Amazon, although you can make it that strategy if you want to specialize in that. It's more or less like getting ideas and saying, okay, well, this looks like it's a really good product. Now let me go do my research and see if it is, and then let me find a private labeler and then create my own product.
Great. I readily agree with that. That's what I mean is I readily agree with just feeling thankful towards Tyler and Ty and Suzanne McDowell for jumping on this event to kind of share this stuff. And of course, specifically with their strategies, is just really particularly particularly great. Well, and what I was saying, like I said about expectations, so with cotton, for 90 days he made nothing. At 120 days he made his first $1,000, and that was his first $1,000 a month customer. And I got to tell you guys, like at that point, you could say, well, things look pretty bleak at 90 days, or things look pretty bleak at 120 days. But then, by the way, what if it had been 180 days and cotton hadn't made money? Right, 180 days would have been half a year, 6 months. Should cotton have quit then? Because he made $400,000 last month in profit. So at what point should he have quit? What if it had taken him a year? What if he'd made zero for a year? Then should he have quit? Because again, if in the next next year after that he made well over $1 million in profit, well over $2 million in profit, then that's just kind of a big deal, right? Hopefully that helps you guys with expectations. So a product that's returning positive ROI on Amazon, then of course that's just going to be extraordinary. It's just really going to get you up and running, get you going, and really help you have just extraordinary success. And you can build from there. That first $1,000 per month that Cotton was making, he didn't stop at that. He wouldn't take $1,000 per month client anymore. So that's kind of the progression of things. You kind of build up to these things, and you get more feedback, and you have more success, and it just helps you more and more and more, and you just kind of like build up from there. So if that makes sense, I don't know. Just let me know. Let's if that makes sense. Let's buy our guests another beer. So give me a beer sticker if that makes sense, and give me question marks if that doesn't make sense. If you really feel like what you need to have is something that you can retire on your first product, and if you can't retire on your first product, then that's just really unacceptable, and you want to quit. Then just give me question marks, and I really mean that. There is no wrong answer in this case. If you're if you feel like that's the only way that it can be for you, then let's see what Elena's saying. Oh, hey Elena. Elena will jump on this this webinar. She's looking to get to the Amazon group. So just I'll check the beer count in just a second, but that's a little bit about expectations. Actually, Elena, you're already a member of the group, so I'll just have to tell her that. Okay, so let's see. Lots of beer here. What is QVC? QVC is it's like a home shopping network. It's a television channel. Only a few beers here though. I'm not sure if people really get this. I'd like to get kind of like a little bit more feedback on this, and really, if you're not getting it, don't be afraid of just posting up some question marks if you feel like it really, like something's kind of wrong. If it's not like this massive, you can retire on it right away. That you kind of have to develop, the next, $1 million a day product or something like that in order to, feel successful. Just let us know. It should be kind of one way or the other. Let's see. Laura wants to know, when should you discontinue selling a product on Amazon?
It sort of like depends on a lot of factors, but if it's like something that I can't sell, let's say, which kind of has never really happened other than the first two, what I did with the first two products is I lowered the price to almost break even, and then just try to get rid of them. Made like some YouTube videos, a blowout sale and things like that, and just kind of got rid of them for break even, or even making $1 just to get rid of them because it was just bad overall. And I knew it didn't sell. The competition was too big. I just picked a really bad product. And it probably took me like a month or two to sort of realize that, and realize I just needed to get some money back and then put it into something else. So a lot of times that's the hardest thing to do, is make the realization that it's not going to sell. You have to do it.
Um, okay, great. Okay, great. So I'm just looking through the questions here. Andrew wants to know, does Liz have multiple Amazon seller accounts? Uh,
Yes, I do.
Great.
I sort of like to separate them by like brand. In the beginning, I didn't do that, and it can kind of be a mess once when you kind of get down to like the accounting behind it. It can be really tricky. There is some good software that you can still use though if you still have them all clumped together. One of them is called Manage by Stats because it breaks it up into brand or brands, and that software also has some other really nice features like it can get emails and things like that of your customer based off of their information and phone numbers.
Great. All right, great. Let's see what we got here. Looks like Cotton, by the way, Cotton just posted the, if you go over to the new OMG Way Facebook group, which I'll actually post a link for it in case you haven't already joined it. Cotton just joined, put up the event tab. Oh, lots of beer now. Okay, good. It's going to be facebook.com/groups/the OMG Way. Go ahead and add yourself to this group if you haven't already. And I'm going to go over to that group right now. Cotton just posted the opportunity to say that you're going to join this event, so I'm going to join it, and I will be going. Really looking forward to it. I'm going to do a hashtag RSVP. So if you're going to come to this event, kind of pause here for station identification. Also remember, we've got coaching with Greg tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, I guess he does it 1 p.m. Eastern. And we've also got coaching with Jimmy, Russell, and Sue on Tuesday. And Cotton's assimilation webinar is going to be Wednesday. That's always huge. And then Thursday, you've got coaching with Joe. That's for people who are in breakthrough. You'll have to check if you're not in breakthrough, check your individual area. And oops, got a bunch of people joining right now. I'll add you all. So if you're going to make it, looks like Don Parker's jumping in with us. Excited that you're going to be coming out, Don. Let's see who else. Somebody else commented here. Fletch is coming too. Yeah, wow, Fletch is coming. This is going to be huge. I'm telling you right now, this event is going to be massive. We've got Greg Morrison's coming. Me and Liz are going to be there. I believe Joe Marfolio is going. Greg Ortiz is going to be there.
You got Becker.
Becker's going to be there. That's right.
Steve Floyd. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Armando is going to be there. He's great. He's really, really successful, around $50,000 a month, OMGer. So it's going to be a massive thing. Amazon Group 10. Yep, I'll add you to that. Okay, so that's just a little bit of a station identification. Jay's going to be coming. That's great. James is going to be there. Congratulations, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. We'll get you more of the details, but fundamentally, it's going to be at the Omni Hotel in Dallas, and it's going to start probably around 7 p.m. on the 26th, and it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be networking and soapboxing. It's going to be an exciting event. I'll get to some of that stuff there. Okay. Adrian says, "Wow, Elizabeth Herrera, thanks. That's encouraging for us. We have a home run hit. And our first and only white label product is selling over 10 a day. It's positive ROI. That's encouraging." Yeah, Adrian, that really is. Yeah, it's so much. Liz, I was telling you this when I got into internet marketing. When I first started networking with other internet marketers and meeting with them, I really thought I was a failure. With my Pokemon and Magic business, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Because the gurus, the way they talked, it seemed like they were such a big deal, like that they were just, rolling in money and probably making, $10 million a year and so forth. But the funny thing is, once I got behind the scenes, I actually found out that I was more successful than any of them. So, and I'm not saying that everyone's going to be that way, but my point is, especially being inside of OMG, you can just feel like, oh, it's the new normal to just make so much money. but really, I mean, even being able to make your first few bucks, even making like $500 a month or $1,000 a month, that's such a huge win, and you can really build and build from there. And that's how I got my start, was just by making a few bucks and then scaling up from there. Liz, when you started online, you didn't just immediately start making six figures a month.
Yeah, that's right. So, like, just another question that can be answered with that, and I can expand on that here in a minute. But there's a couple people saying that, like, they kind of don't understand anything yet, and that's perfectly normal because you're learning something brand new. It's kind of like, think about the first time when you actually drove a car. Did you know, like, did you really know what you were doing? The answer is no. So this might be unfamiliar to you, but as long as you keep listening and then keep trying to, like, apply these things and start looking at things on Amazon, it's going to start to make sense at some point, and it's going to click. Just the same way that cotton, all of a sudden SEO clicked with them. And if you think about it, you can never, like, the best skill that you can have is just, like, being so, it's kind of hard to describe. Like, you just want to be successful so bad that you're willing to pour all this time and energy into the learning aspect of it, and then you start implementing it. It's kind of like what Cotton did. He probably absorbed everything that Greg did like a sponge, and then at some point he was confident enough to, like, take the next step, which is start trying to rank some sites. And then all of a sudden his confidence grew and more, just like whoever just mentioned that they were selling 10 a day, Adrian. I mean, Adrian cannot tell me that his confidence is not, like, really high right now because he's selling 10 units a day. It's sort of like such a liberating feeling when you can start selling something, even if it's 10 a day, because of the fact that you kind of understand the potential. Like, now I have one product that sells 10 a day. Well, what happens when I have 20 products that sell 10 a day? Then it's a whole new ball game, and you kind of sort of understand exactly how people have created these income streams for themselves, and they started from scratch. So that's the amazing thing about it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like the thing to do if you really want to compare what we're doing here to something, compare it to becoming a doctor, because there's a lot of OMGers making doctor salaries or even much more, but they're getting to call their own shots. What a doctor has to do is, first of all, it's a lot like playing Frogger. I know for me, I actually wanted to go to one of the top undergraduate schools, but then I got a C when I was a freshman in high school, and I was like, well, crap, now I'm trying. I got a C in biology, and like, once you get a C, you're so far behind. I mean, I pretty much have to pull A's the rest of the way to be able to get into a school, and even then, I might not get into like a Harvard or Dartmouth or something like that. And so then I decided, well, maybe I'm going to be an athlete, like maybe a professional athlete or something like that. And then I tore I tore a couple ligaments in my shoulder when I was a sophomore in high school, and then that was it for that. But anyways, regardless, if we go, if we look at becoming a doctor, if you are one of the few that pulls A's all the way through, then you can go and you can spend 11 years of school, and you can pay around $300,000 in debt to become a doctor. And that's great. That's exciting. And then you can work 60-hour weeks. And this is a dream job. What I'm putting up is not a straw man. Making around $20,000 a month in America, that's a huge dream for people. And so, so at that point, then you can work about 60-hour weeks. It is pretty stressful. There's a lot of regulation and so forth, and you can be a doctor. You compare that to what, I don't even have to say Cotton. I mean, let's just, take Greg Ortiz, who's on the event right now. It took him about a year to make, $40,000 a month. Actually, not even that. I think it might have taken him like 6 months to get up to, $20,000 or $40,000 a month. Well, there you go. Like, I mean, that's night and day different. And then he owns the business. It's his business. He owns it. He's an entrepreneur. That's that. Tyler, you've been in this for 8 months. Now you're at $150,000 a month in sales for your Amazon stuff. I mean, was it worth it?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I guess that's kind of a pat answer, but I mean, really seriously, like, I mean, it's like, how much better is that? I mean, you're 32 years old. You couldn't even go back to school to become a doctor if you wanted to. I mean, how would you do it?
It's still a bit unreal to me, but especially because I just love the business so much that I reinvest nearly everything, but just knowing what is sitting there, being able to buy more training or being able to launch new products and put more money into them and not really have to worry about it is absolutely incredible. And just plus knowing I'm building such a huge asset for the future is definitely worth it.
All right, great. Yeah, Dave Keys just jumped on as well. It's great to see him on here. Hey, Dave. Some people asked some more about the assimilation dates. I'll explain that. Danny thinks, I mean, this might be a little bit of a trouble spot. Danny said, I'm 4 days old in OMG. I know a client for another business who made an oil that's supposed to help with diabetics. Used a chemist. She has approached me before to help her sell it pre-OMG. Never did anything with it. It was a candidate for Amazon. Anything that cures like diabetes or something like that, that's a real trouble spot on Amazon. Liz, can you comment on that?
Yeah, the main thing that I said is like you've got to think of what the keyword is, and like you said, I know we were going to do that popcorn thing, and then Popcorn John put for some reason that his popcorn helped. I've got to try to maybe get the wording back from him to see what it said, but it could help people with diabetes, and they kind of like took that down immediately. So like your whole USP sort of sounds like it could get knocked down pretty quickly, but if you sort of like think it, like maybe it's just not helps with diabetes, but it could just help swollen feet. That will be allowed, but anytime some type of product claims to cure, and even though you're not saying that it cures diabetes, even you saying that it helps diabetes could be looked at upon Amazon by the fact that like you're saying that it cures. So you have to be really careful. And again, like I said, I've seen it firsthand where a buddy of mine who wasn't selling anything, he just put it up on Amazon and put like these claims about heart disease and diabetes, and his account immediately got shut down. And it wasn't like, I'm not even joking about how fast it was. He had not sold a single one. He didn't even have a complete listing. It just had a couple pictures, a description, and just a bit about diabetes and heart disease, and it immediately got shut down. It wasn't even funny how fast it was. So my best advice to you is to first think of what your main keyword is, but more than that, try to figure out a different USP than it helps with diabetes. It might help with swollen feet as a result of certain, you have to kind of be creative with wording that. And if she already has the product, I mean, you could always just test it, but don't ever mention diseases or anything like that in listing because they'll get shut down pretty quickly.
All right, great. I really like that. Just once again, just the idea of like really being sensitive and like looking at the positioning of something before you pull the trigger. It just makes a huge difference. I mean, that's again, that's kind of what we're looking at to really, boy, you just not to like walk into something like that can be great. And also just to see about positioning, like where the opportunities are open. The new training that Liz is putting out will be in your Amazon training area, just so you guys know. That'll be in your Amazon training area with Liz there. Now, what I'm going to do here, we had some questions about assimilation. Let me get a hashtag assimilation live. If you want to know what dates we've already picked out, what cities that we're looking at. I know that a lot of people have been excited about the possibility of it coming to their town. We really had fun. I'll tell you this, Liz. I had such a fun time this last Friday meeting with everybody. It was really a great feeling.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it was amazing. Like I said, met Tyler, have a new buddy there. And then not just Tyler, but met so many other people. I mean, we met people just here. I've never met Stephen Floyd, which was kind of amazing. Greg Ortiz, Joe M. I'd met Cotton before, and obviously you, Mike. But I mean, it was just really awesome to have so many people. A lot of new people too, but it's kind of just amazing when you can step out with people that are doing the things that you want to do, and you can just ask them questions. I know I had a couple new people that I'd not ever spoken to. I know Natasha, I think Rashida, Dietrich. I'm trying to think of people off the top of my head that I met there. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of people, but I know Jaime was there, Jorge was there, a lot of people just coming from Florida, and it was, yeah, Dave hit it right. Stephen Floyd was dropping bombs all night, and again, he's going to be in Dallas because that's his hometown. I'm not sure if it's his hometown, but that's where he lives. That's his stomping grounds, so he's going to be there. He was sitting in a corner. I didn't even notice he was there. That's the funny thing, Mike, is he was sitting in that corner from about when I showed up, which was maybe 6 o'clock, till when we left, which was maybe, I don't know, I want to say we left at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, like 1 or 2 a.m.
and we left to Cotton's house, which we took everybody back. A lot of OMGers came with us to Club Cotton, but Stephen Floyd did not rest until we got to Cotton's house. And still, even at Cotton's house, he was still dropping bombs. So he was just like dropping knowledge, and he had this mob around him. And I was like, I thought at one point, like, where is Stephen at? And that's when I realized he told me that he had a mob around him. I was like, well, no wonder I didn't see you. And so we talked again at Club Cotton. And so he's going to be in Dallas. So I encourage anybody, if they get out anywhere, I would definitely mention Dallas, because I lived in Dallas for 15 years and I love Dallas. It's awesome. And that area is actually the area that I used to live in. So the Omni Hotel is the bomb.
Yeah, what Liz is talking about is, of course there's going to be networking, but there's also soapboxing where you're really able to get wisdom. This is a picture of Stephen right here and this whole group that was around him. I took this picture at about 1 in the morning. This is Gregory Ortiz talking to John Gill and a couple of John's friends. This is Liz right here. You can't see it too well because it's a little bit of a darker picture, but she had a little crowd around her. This is Joe Marfolio, and Joe had a little audience there. That's kind of the soapboxing aspect of it, and it's really it's twofold. So you're definitely going to be networking, but also getting that soapboxing training. Let me ask everybody. We're getting lots and lots, and I really appreciate that. Lots and lots and lots of hashtag Assimilation Live. What city are you in? So before I announce the dates, what city are you in? Where are you hoping that we'll come to? So I'm going to type in Nashville, and I'm also going to type in Chicago. So where are you at? Where are you kind of hoping that although more and more my heart's kind of in Miami, Liz, just saying. So what's your although I'm not trying to skew things. I know we'll go out to LA and I'll be like, I love LA. So let's see. So as much as you can on the Facebook group, type in where you're hoping that we'll come out to. So let's see what we got here. Let's see. So Rachel says London. There's a passport issue on that with Cotton. So I don't know. We'll have to see on the international stuff. Tony says New York City. Wanda says Atlanta. Desiree says Greensboro. Dave Key says hashtag LA. Cliff says Los Angeles. We've got Alice says Vancouver, Canada. Philadelphia. You can vote for multiple cities, just so you know. Got Atlanta here. Portland, Danny says. Michelle says Detroit, but could also easily go to Chicago. John Lilly says DC. Kirk says Detroit. Another for London. Los Angeles. Australia. Yeah, we looked at that. There's, by the way, Liz, Mike Hayden pointed out to me that Hong Kong is just a hop, skip, and a jump from Australia. Interestingly enough.
Wow, I love both Hong Kong and Australia. So
we've got Key West, Stockholm. Welcome to Stockholm. Oh, Elena, I didn't know you were in Stockholm. Nottingham, UK, Quebec, LA. Germany, Glasgow, a lot of international here, Montreal, Phoenix, Bay Area, Manchester, UK, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Seattle, Philadelphia, Twin Cities, MAU. What's MAU? I don't know what MAU
Maui?
is.
I think it was Maui.
Was it Maui? Maui's with 3 exclamation points. I thought it was MAU with 4 exclamation points.
I think you're saying Macau. You love China so much.
So used to KC, Seattle, Tulsa, Chicago, Seattle, and Napa wine country. George is trying to bribe us with a little bit of wine. I'll give
Joe Miller. I see Joe. I haven't seen Joe in a while. Philadelphia.
I'm gonna give Joe some chompers with the bottle of wine there. Boy, we were hanging out with Rat Dog. By the way, it really was something. Let's give Cotton, give it up for Cotton. Club
Cotton. If we head back to Orlando, I'd encourage everybody to go just to check out Club Cotton. It was like such an experience.
Yeah,
it's quite the setup.
Yeah, I did some showed some after credits actually. If you jump into the OMG Way thread, I don't know where that post is at this point because this is a really active brand new Facebook group here. But if you look at the Facebook, how could it be this far down? There's the Phoenix thread. Okay, so here, no, here we go. If you look at the previous comments in this thread, I'll just bump this real quick so you guys can find it real fast. This is where Club Cotton starts, the after credits. This one here. This is that poolside. This is Liz. This is me and there's Jason, Stephen Floyd, Joe Marfolio, and Gregory Ortiz. Some more here. This is Cotton's private lab. This is Rat Dog. This is a little group shot, and this is Ortiz and Cotton. Back here, I'm just going to type bump so you guys can find this real fast. So that's a little bit about the after credits. But Cotton was really generous. So give us a hashtag Club Cotton and tag Cotton Grammar to notify his cell phone, just so he'll know that so his ears can burn. He can know that we're talking about him. Oh wow, Maui's awesome. I guess Dave Keys is a vote for Maui. You got to tag Cotton Grammar if you want to see if we can rouse him, get him on the loose, see what's going on. All right, so what I'll do is I'll give an idea of where the next rollout is going to be. So we've got Dallas is June 27th. Then let me pull up my calendar here. Then that's May, June, probably 12th or 13th. We're going to be, it's probably actually going to be June 12th is my guess. We're going to be at the LAX, I believe Hilton, and Bob Proctor is going to be there.
I thought it was in July, Mike.
Oh, July. Oh, that's June. You're right. July. So it'll probably be July 11th will be the date. It'll probably be the Saturday. So July 11th will be there, and Bob Proctor is going to be there. So that's going to be exciting. How many people are big fans of Bob Proctor? Let me know if you're a fan of Bob's. Just post in the Facebook group, and I'll see. So Cotton's going to be there, and then we're going to be doing it's probably going to be July 18th in Vegas. So we are doing Vegas. Those are the ones that we've planned out specifically date and time wise. This one in Vegas is probably going to be at the shoot. I'm just drawing a blank on the name of the hotel that we're going to.
Is it Cromwell or Venetian?
Yeah, Cromwell. Yeah. So we're probably going to do Cromwell on the 18th. So that'll give you an idea of the dates and times. And we are looking at other cities. New York is very probable. Tampa is very probable, almost certain. Miami or Fort Lauderdale is high on the probability scale. Scottsdale is pretty much 100%. Phoenix or Scottsdale. So that's a definite on that. San Diego is a possibility. There have been a lot of people asking if we would do Houston or Austin, so that's a possibility. There's been a lot of call for Atlanta, so that's a maybe. So there's, that'll give you some idea. I know that's a lot of conjecture and so forth. So that's a little bit of an idea. It'll definitely be, George, just so you know, it's pretty much certainly going to be a Cromwell. I can practically guarantee it, like 99% chance it's going to be a Cromwell for Vegas. So that'll give you an idea. Those ones I just gave you are pretty well set in stone. Uncle Bob Proctor, fan of Bob, a lot of Bob Proctor fans. Yeah, this is this assimilation tour is going to be really, really, really excited. It's funny. Jeff Nelson wants to know, is the Walmart table out? Yep, he has officially retired the Walmart table. It's actually now a beer table in his backyard. Morris says you're going to be in Vegas for sure. Yeah, if one of those definite dates that we've given you, Dallas, LA, or Vegas, if you're definitely down for one of them, give me a hashtag RSVP and tell me which ones you're going to be at RSVP. So I'm going to be in Dallas. I'm going to be at all of them. Dallas, I'm going to be in LA, and I'm going to be in Vegas, and we will have more to come. Give me your if you're definitely sure you're going to be at one of those dates. Let me know. So we've got James Cluster's going to be in Dallas and Vegas. Dave Keys is going to be in LA. Cliff is going to hit up LA and Vegas. That's great. It's going to be exciting to see you there. By the way, a lot of people are excited about Bob Proctor going to be there. So great. So we're going to have 4 people there. That's what's going to happen. We had over 100 in Orlando, and now we're going to have 4 people. Good to know. Oh man, Susan Ann McDowell's coming. Heck yeah. Dallas, LA, and Vegas. Dang, Liz, did you rope Susan Ann McDowell in?
No, Susan wanted to come. She's excited about it. She's excited to soapbox.
Heck yeah. Susan Ann McDowell, are you excited to soapbox at all these events? Speak out to people, tell people what's up?
I would be very happy to share the latest and greatest of what's going on in the review universe and the other things that I've been doing at Amazon with anybody that likes to listen.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
I'm psyched about trying to make it.
Awesome.
Well, I'm pumped. Patrick is going to be out there. Patrick is a good buddy of mine that is a amazing dancer. I can't say enough what an amazing dancer he is.
Well,
Love Patrick.
Well, Patrick, there'll definitely be some dance music where we're headed to. So just so you know, we've also got James Clusters coming out. He's going to be coming out to Vegas as well. Looks like Cliff is already good. So LA is going to be probably the 11th or 12th of July. Probably July. Wait, 11th of July. Wait, let me look at it again. Sorry, give me a second here. Let me open the date and time again. These dates are pretty accurate. Yeah, LA will be July 11th, most certainly, and Vegas will be July 18th, most certainly. It could be subject to change within one day or so of that, but that's pretty much the correct days of things. And we'll look to get that to you shortly, and we'll look to roll out other dates to you as well. So good. So we're gonna have 8 people there. That's great. No, I'm joking. We'll have lots and lots of people there. I pretty much guarantee we'll have at least 100 people at each event, and it could be more. Could blow up to much greater numbers than even that. I think it's going to be really exciting as we get to it. So,
yeah, one other thing, Mike, is just like there's also people that are potentially looking to join OMG. So I think we got quite a bit of people that actually joined. We remember Steven? That guy was pretty crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was actually like on he couldn't like really decide whether he did or didn't, but by going out there and meeting how cool everybody was. I know Tyler mentioned that even though my name's Danger Girl, that I was like one of the sweetest people, which I was like kind of like blown away by that. But there's a lot of you just get to sort of see how cool everybody is. Like I mean, I know we're talking to Mike Long here and Cotton Grammar, but they're really just like normal everyday people. And they have the same kind of issues that we do, so it's kind of fun to get out there and meet with them.
I really appreciate you saying that, Liz. You obviously have like the warmest, most wonderful charisma in the world, and just couldn't be more down to earth. And yeah, these events are going to be really fun. I promise lives are going to be changed. And yeah, if you want to invite friends, family, spouses, whatever, bring them all. It can be really great to have people experience and get sink their teeth into it, and it's just literally a very exciting experience. Liz, are there any? I know you've covered a lot of questions in the question box, and you've tried to answer as many questions live as we could. Lots of enthusiasm for this event. I want to just make sure that we take the time to thank Elizabeth Herrera. Just so great for her to come out and answer questions. She came out to Dallas to answer questions. And to kind of inspire people, give them details. She's actively recruiting, trying to suck more people into OMG who can really help you have more success. Just really actively chasing people down and stuff like that. I'd love to get. We still have over 150 people live right now, over 2 hours into things. I would love to get 150 thank yous to Liz. She's just so incredibly generous. Just so gracious and generous and kind and fun and Laura Mears is going to join us in Vegas. That's exciting. I think Stephen Doran's going to join us for Los Angeles. the date for Arizona, we don't have a date for Arizona just yet. Ludmel is joining us in Vegas. We're really looking forward to meeting you there. Corbin's in for Dallas. It's great. Tim's in for Vegas. Richard's in for Vegas. Cecile's in for Vegas and LA. That's great. Dave Keys. Dallas is going to be on June 27th, Dave Keys, just so you know. So lots and lots and lots of thank yous are rolling in right now for Liz. Yeah, heck yeah. Big thank you sticker from Tony Moore. Yeah, OMG is a city on a hill. It's a place where friends come together in Providence. It's also now a party on a hill. And just getting Liz in here is just so incredibly helpful. Susan Abadell's got Chomper's love right here. If you really want to thank her, let's get a hashtag Cavaliers. Does that sound about right? At this point, should we switch to hashtag Cavaliers for you, Liz?
Yeah, I'm a Cavs fan, so I'm a LeBron and Kyrie Irving fan, so that's all I'm really gonna say about that. I know Golden State looks really tough though, but
I know that's Liz's. We got to get Chomper somewhere safe before the
yeah,
final.
I'm probably gonna not watch it. That way, Choppers doesn't get crazy again.
So let's get a hashtag Cavaliers for Liz. We know that she's a baller and a gym rat. Oh no, Vivian turned on you. No help for Vivian.
Well, Vivian is in she's in San Francisco, so you know. Oh yeah, Theo's in here. I remember Theo, Mike. Theo was awesome. Theo,
hey, Theo.
He came from all the way from London, so I got to talk to him extensively. So really cool guy.
No, Theo's on his way for sure. Don Parker gave a hashtag Chompaliers. That's great. That's great, James. That's a very wacky looking Lego piece there. All right. Well, so of course, thank you, Liz. And I know everyone's really excited. They're all looking forward to the training that you're sharing, and also you've just given such tremendous information today. Let's give probably at this point we're over to, almost 2.5 hours in. Probably just give everyone a chance to give their final words. Unless was there anything you wanted to cover before we go to final words, Liz?
No, just gonna say that I've got all the sourcing videos mapped out. So today I'm gonna be producing them today and tomorrow, and they should be out. So I'll have my entire product picking formula that I look at from A to Z out pretty much this week.
Holy cow!
I think it'll really help people like open their eyes to the possibilities.
Let's just give a traditional hashtag boom to that, because that's huge. That's huge. And and buy Liz an Angry Orchard. Codename beer.
Actually, that's the thing. I don't drink while we're at the simulation. I make sure that I'm telling everybody, giving them good info.
Although at After Credit she drinks.
At Club Cotton, it's a different thing.
Yeah, Club Cotton is something a little different. What do we got here? All right, great. Lots of booms. Danger Girl from James Cluster. I'd never seen the Danger Girl comic until I was at Club Cotton.
Yeah, Club Cotton's got everything there.
Yeah, Don Parker gave a hashtag boom, hashtag Angry Orchard. Great. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with this stuff, guys. Yeah, just a few moments here to just enjoy and relax. And of course, once we get the chance to digest that, we'll probably be back the week after next for another Amazon Q&A. So you'll get a week with Liz's stuff, and we'll be back to answer questions on. I know there'll be lots of questions. Ty had to run. What I want to do is let's get the last word from Tyler and Susan. Susan, do you want to give us your last word on things?
My last word is when you're thinking about sourcing, just think about what makes you special and different and what your unique selling proposition is. And if you can't think of a unique selling proposition for the product, move on to the next one. Yeah,
I'm glad you said that. Actually, Travis Sago just started dropping bombs inside of Project Breakthrough and Director's Cut. And listen, everybody should go through this materials. It's so powerful. Let me find it in the. I got the MP3s from him directly, so I've never accessed it through our membership area. So I'll help you find it right now. see. Oops. All right. Travis Sago's Conversion Mojo. Okay. And of course, we can always search this way. Okay. And it's right here, Conversion Mojo, under conversion and sales. I think everybody should just go through this. Incredibly valuable. So first, he's got this video, and then MP3s, and then he's got a PDF for the second one. He actually sent me a PDF for the third one. I lost it. I need to get it from him again. But it's short, it's sweet, it's poppy. The first, he's got his introduction, and then the only reason people buy anything, and then the identity thermostat. It's really, really going to help you with product research, selecting products. It goes right along with what Susan McDowell was just saying. Guys, this is invaluable. This is a guy who's made millions and millions and millions of dollars as an affiliate and with his own products. Invaluable to have him inside of OMG. Actually, I'm going to give a hashtag Mojo, and I'm going to thank Travis Sago. Has anybody in here actually watched that stuff? Yeah, I know a lot of people probably would have missed it. People that are more oriented towards Amazon would have thought, well, that's for affiliate marketing or that's for local client consulting, and it can't possibly factor into what I'm saying. But I'll tell you what, it even me and David Mills, to give you an idea, we were blown away by it. Travis Sago is one of the only people who I've studied for conversion advice outside of David Mills and Cotton Grammer. Travis Sago, Jason Flatley as well, is really incredible at it. But it's really a short list of people who I've studied for conversion advice, and Travis Sago is really up there. And I think that'll if you want some extra help on because what Susan McDowell just said is just dead on, and she's completely right about that. So that's a great way to get a beacon point. So hashtag Mojo, and then thank Travis Sago, and it's going to be really. Oh, great! James watched the first Travis Sago video. It is awesome. It really, really is. He really boils it down. Okay. Tyler, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you've been a good sport, hanging out, answering some questions, and chiming in. Did you have any final words for people?
Yeah, I would say just go for it. Don't try and focus on one thing, just one product and get married to it. Come up with as many different ideas as you can. Come up with 100, 200 different products, and then start going from there. And then it kind of takes a lot of pressure off, rather than, I have to be in this niche, I have to do this, it has to have this BSR, and you can kind of psych yourself out. And then once you start to narrow it down, keep in mind quality and all being in one brand. I like building brands, so then you can get the cross sales, you get the trust, you get a customer base. And even helps with doing coupon stacking down the road, and frequently bought together can be all your products, which helps a lot. And then also just do it for the customer. Like if you were looking for that, you would want something that's high quality and really take care of your customer, and that spills over into customer service. I know Liz is really big on customer service. No matter what I do or how many people I hire, I'm always planning on doing the customer service, and I have a great relationship with all my customers. So really focus on the quality once you kind of niche it down.
Yeah, you told me a really moving story. We won't get into the specifics of it, but where you actually helped somebody that their child was going to go into chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And your product instead fixed their condition where they were going to dancing classes weeks later.
Yeah, no, it actually made me tear up, and I'm not much of a softie or anything, but knowing that I could change life,
you'd have to be heartless not to tear up at that. I mean, what?
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredible. Yeah, and by the way, this wasn't for cancer. This was for something completely different. But it literally it gotten to the point where they are considering chemotherapy, and it lets you know that sometimes natural remedies can go just a long, long way. So that's really, really moving advice from Tyler. And Tyler, thanks so much for jumping in. We're so glad that you came in and got involved today. Looking forward to hearing more from you in the future about some of the details. Liz, I'll leave the final word to you.
Yeah, just last word is look forward for everybody to come out. I really think even if you you fly out for one of the events, it could be life changing. All the people, the community of OMG is so amazing. I mean, I'm a part of so many different communities because I've just been able to I've been involved in a lot of things, and that's kind of like my wisdom is like a collective, like it's a collection of all these different things, and I've kind of like put my own twist on them. But there's never been such an amazing community like OMG. And when you go out there and you hang out, like don't be afraid to just come up to one of us and say hey, or like come out and be ready to talk to one of us, because I think you'll find out that like Mike Long is one of the most amazing dudes you'll ever meet. Like he's one of the most friendly guy, and he'll make you feel like you're the most special person on the planet. So you come out and talk to him, or you come out and talk to me. I know Tyler can tell you that it's the same way with like that. We're just like very friendly, and it also gives us the opportunity to meet like amazing people like Tyler that are actually doing the things that we teach, and they're already doing them. And then they add like their own spin to things. And like, I mean, Tyler dropped a couple bombs in here that will definitely help a lot of people, but that wouldn't have happened without us actually going out there and meeting people like Tyler. So again, just come out and say hi to me, Mike, Cotton. I know Stephen Floyd is awesome. I know missing a bunch of people. Gregory Ortiz was pretty cool. Who else was out there? Jason was really cool. There was just Joe M. So many amazing people that are kind of involved in the inside of OMG, but at the same time, they're just real people, just like you and I, you know. So it's just super to come out, and yeah, I'm making Tyler blush. That's awesome. So it's great to come out, for you guys to come out and then meet up with us, and I definitely guarantee that you're gonna not only learn something, but you're gonna have a blast.
OMG is a city on a hill. It's a place where friends come together in Providence. And OMG is now a party on a hill. So let's get a hashtag party on a hill to close things out. And give me a hashtag RSVP if you're going to make sure to join us for at least one of our simulation live tour. You're just going to do what it takes. And if you have to road trip it or get together with a friend, or even if it means crossing the pond or taking a long trip, you're going to do it because it's going to make a big difference in your life. You're going to get to meet me and Liz and Cotton. You might meet Greg Morrison if you go to the right event, or Joe Marfolio, Fletch, Gregor Ortiz, Tyler you might meet, Susan Ann McDowell, you might meet Ty. Maybe we can get Ty down to LA at least. You're going to meet somebody special, someone that's going to help you change your life. We want it to help you change your life. OMG is a friends helping friends situation. We really focus on banding together and having a good time and really enjoying ourselves. Lots of RSVPs coming in. I'm really, really excited about that. I love seeing all these party on the hills. I love seeing all these RSVPs. And if you can do it with some Angry Orchard involved, then that's all the better. Oh, that's sad. No sad. Get away from sad. That's no good. Let's see. Let's go to celebrating, and let's see what we got here. Where's that little dog with the? I guess you have to find beer, find the chompers. I know chompers is a Yorkie, but I don't know why they don't have Yorkies in there. Yorkies would be much better for beer. I don't know. But anyways, Atlanta in August. It could be Atlanta. It's a possibility. Let's see, beer. There we go. I like this guy. He definitely looks like he's got some Angry Orchard on lock there. Maybe got some lime in there. He's really fired up. All right, everybody, I want to thank you for joining in. Obviously, this has been a wonderfully spirited event. You're going to want to study this thread because there was a lot of great details and advice in there. Maybe I'll put hashtag Angry Orchard. And so if you're watching this as a replay and you want to find this in the OMG and HPT Facebook group, if you want to find this thread, just search for hashtag Angry Orchard. And that'll help you find this thread. I know Tony Moore is so funny. So you can search for hashtag Angry Orchard, and that'll allow you to find this thread. You study this thread because there's a lot of great questions and answers inside of this thread. Remember, in the OMG Amazon Plus Community Facebook group, you can also post your questions, and it's going to be very, very, very exciting. With lime, yes, with a little lime, Tyler. It really is better with lime. So trust me. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. We're about 2.5 hours into it. This is a wonderful event. We're looking forward to Liz's training, and we'll probably get together in about 2 weeks for another Amazon Q&A. God bless you guys, and have a great afternoon and a great evening.